Hey, why don't you wake up?
Hey, why don't you wake up?
Wake up.
Wake
How
up.
come you always come
Time
in
to put
so
on your
hot with
makeup.
that? You're like an alarm clock. Get up. Get up right now.
Get the fuck up.
Wake up, you guys. Come on. Jesus.
You're late.
Why don't you?
Hurry.
Why don't you? Yeah.
Christ.
By you're late. Who are you? What do you mean by it?
Well, I wasn't talking about me, but the person announcing that you're late is me, Felicia.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
You can find me at Felicia3 on Twitter, and I forgot to look up my Blue Sky account.
I put it on the
but
rundown.
You did send us the rundown.
Guess what we don't have?
Sweet boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
But anyway, it is.
Why don't I just fill time while you open up that bad boy?
It's at Felicia3.
Hey, everybody, how's your week go?
You're talking over my handle.
How's anyone gonna find her?
How will I be found? It's at Felicia. Shut the fuck up, Juicy. It's at felicia3.bsky.social.
You did it.
I did
Hey,
it.
what's up? I'm Beth. You can find me at so many places now. Beth Mostuff on Twitter, Beth D. Bush on Instagram, BethMostuff.bsky.social. Do we have to say that part?
I hear cat already. This one's off the hinges. This is gonna
It's
go
just
crazy. Dude, we got my social medias. We got a website at idiots.fm, in front of that, and we're on Discord where we talk once a week or so.
Did you say your name or who?
Who even is this?
Yeah, who the fuck are you?
I'm Jesse. You can find me on Blue Sky at elmbynight.com. We're at Sleepy Idiots everywhere. I'm most active on Twitter for now till I get one more code.
Hell yeah.
I fucking deleted my Twitter account. It go bye-bye.
Whoa.
Wow. Good for you. But you won't see any of my hilarious tweets.
Yeah,
end of an era.
Fuck?
Oh, I still log in as the idiots one. So I still see them.
All right.
I'm seeing mostly Heather tweet because we're following like 4 people.
Yeah.
Rate us on podchaser.com and Apple Podcasts if you're feeling nice about it.
Do it.
Please.
We got my dog Baloo some buttons. You know those buttons that you can...
Oh, yeah. The training ones where you're going to try to teach him how to talk.
Yeah. Where you hit it and it says outside. And
that's cool.
Miriam, we just broke those out today. I think he tried to chew them the first time, like last week. And no, it's bad. Don't chew it. It's a bad dog. But she's tried it again and he didn't chew it. And then we're crate training him. So he's in there now. And like maybe 5 minutes after Miriam went to bed, I start hearing outside, 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 out, outside, outside. And I'm like, what the fuck? And my cat Lilu, or my cat Jester's over there, like going to town.
Just trying to get out.
I honestly think Jester is fucking with my dog.
Probably.
Like, I thought she was maybe stupid, but she's done some like conniving shit. Like, I think she's trying to get him in trouble and also annoy him on a constant basis.
You're in a crate, don't you wish you could be outside?
Imagine if you were outside.
I think that's exactly what she's doing. And he's got a prey drive, which we need to like train out of him. So whenever she like even walks at a brisk pace, he like chases her. And I think she's figured out that gets him in trouble. So she's like jumping in front of him and taking off, which is really annoying, but it's kind of good for training because it means it's happening constantly.
Maybe she just wants to play and go outside.
She definitely wants to play, but he used teeth. And he's 22 pounds and he's going to be like 90 pounds. I'd rather him like learn not to eat cat now.
Gotta nip that in the bud.
Yeah. Otherwise, I played Diablo 4 all week. I'm addicted to it. I didn't even watch shit. What is that?
I think
shout
there's
out to
some
my
cat
ice.
Oh. I assumed the cat was bouncing off something.
No, it's just Minwei right now. She is going a little rogue, but she seems fine. She'll be good.
But yeah, I'm boring. I just play Diablo 4 now. That's my whole life.
That's more than me. I don't think I did anything other than watch stuff this past week. I'm going to try to motivate myself to leave the house this weekend, but oh, the one thing I did do where my office building is, we share, it's in like a business park, and the office right next to us is Camelback, the water company, whatever. They're the ones that do the backpacks with the straw that goes to your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
They had like a huge, I assume it's like a warehouse overstock sale or something. Technically the main one is tomorrow, but they had like a preview sale for just people in the business park, and they were giving like huge ass discounts. So I got a bunch of shit for like $8. And that was fun because it was like we were working and my boss came up to me and she's like, "Oh, did you go out there and see what they have yet?" And I was like, "No." She goes, "Okay, come on, let's go." And she like rounded up me and my coworker, and we all just shopped for a while.
That's fun.
Sick.
So yeah, that was fun.
I love cups.
Yeah, me
I have
too.
my favorite thing of all time is like a 32-ounce hydro flask.
Yeah.
That's like my perfect water container of all time.
I have too many. That's the I collect
a
water
million.
bottles at this point, and I don't go anywhere.
This is my forever bottle, I think. It's just perfect.
It's just like a thing to carry from room to room that makes me feel like I'm secure. I don't know.
I could see myself being so lazy that I use one of those Camelback things here, so I don't have to get water.
I just feel like they
It's
would
just
go
like my
warm
work water.
so fast, like being enclosed.
I can drink warm water. I don't give a fuck.
Ugh.
Gross.
No?
Gross.
No, fuck you.
I could drink like 5-day-old water. I can drink flat soda.
That's such an old man thing to say.
That's fine.
You have a fridge available. What's the...
I didn't say I do.
Okay.
I say I can.
I mean, I can too if it's in like if I'm in the desert and I'm forced to, but I don't want it.
I just feel like when you're thirsty and you take a sip of lukewarm water, it's like you drank nothing. You just end up more thirsty.
It's not like that for me. I can chug too. You guys chuggers?
So is that why you like it? Because it doesn't hurt you because it's not ice cold?
Maybe, yeah. I could definitely chug like room temperature water faster than ice cold water.
You're just all about efficiency.
Yeah, I'm lazy. It's what turned me into a programmer. 1,000,000%.
Chugging?
Yeah, chugging. Little known fact, that's the most common way to become a programmer.
Interesting. They love that on a resume.
Chug real good.
Oh, hang on. I gotta write that down. Chugs real
good. Chugs good. Can open throat.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Why that reaction?
What?
I feel like you made it sexual. I was just talking about chugging.
Dude, you gotta know. You can't say shit like that.
Why?
I just reposted something on Instagram. I found this reel that was like this bride at her wedding wanted like an abstract piece of art. So all of her, instead of like signing a guest book, all of her guests just did like a paint stroke on a canvas. And I was like, that's a nice idea, but with my friends, there's no way everyone wouldn't be drawing a penis or like just writing fuck on it.
Hell yeah.
And that's I just feel like you should have known when you said you would open throat.
I'd for sure draw a dick, but when I said open throat, it was in the context of chugging.
Chugging what?
Chugging anyway, a warm substance.
Anything new with you?
So coincidentally, I got rid of cups while Felicia got cups. Well, I didn't do a lot this weekend, but I did a big declutter and I threw away like a ton of cups that I collect cups too, and it's like childhood stuff and it's too much.
Do you do that like yearly?
Declutter?
Yeah.
No, I keep bringing stuff over from my mom's because I just have so much shit and I just keep having to go through everything and get rid of things because I don't want to fill this house with a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
But I did keep a couple Because like we always would get cups from like theme parks and stuff, and so
Mhm.
I got rid of a bunch of those, but I kept my Astroworld ones because that's some
Oh,
like really
those will be
nice
worth something
nostalgia.
someday.
They're worth
Not only
everything to me.
nostalgia, but that boy's gone.
I don't even know what
Yeah.
that is.
It's the Six Flags in Houston next to
Oh,
the Astrodome, so it's called Astroworld. And we would
see,
go there like every summer when I was
that
little.
I have something pretty much just like that. I don't know if I have it or actually my parents might have it. It's like a little blue mug with a koala on it, and it's from Marine World, which is now our Six Flags. But before it was Six Flags, it was called Marine World, and it was a lot better.
Mm,
Beth, I bet that Astroworld cup is already worth something.
maybe. I have a couple. It has like Marvin the Martian. I forget who's on the other ones, but they're like glittery. They're
That
cool.
YouTube channel that like I can't remember the name of. Heather really loves it.
Defunct Land.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did Defunctland. Oh, you told me about that
Yeah,
episode.
I
Hell
did.
yeah, memories.
I love when Jesse starts recommending something to you before he remembers that you're the one who
No,
recommended
I wasn't even gonna recommend it. I was just gonna say
it.
that channel probably like made those cups more
They,
valuable by
Why
they
is
itself.
that
definitely
one
have a
specific look like why that location though? Why is that one more valuable than like any other theme park as Six Flags took over?
because it's gone. Like they shut it down completely, and
I think
it
it
was a
was like a
big one.
beloved thing too,
Hmm.
Yeah,
locally.
for sure. I loved it.
I watched that Defunctland episode. It was good.
How long ago, if ever, have you guys been to a Six Flags?
Oh, I've never.
I mean, that one. That was it.
But how
We
long
had
ago?
King's Dominion in Virginia, and that was instead of Six Flags. I think the closest Six Flags was in like Maryland, and I never went to it.
Oh, I don't know when it shut down. Probably early 2000s was the last time I went to it.
So I went relatively recently, within like the past 5 years, I would say. We have one about an hour and a half away from where I live, but it's like in the middle of nowhere, so I would never go that direction. But where I worked would have these like once a year they would do a Six Flags. It wasn't like a office trip. It's just that we'd have a day where tickets were super discounted to us for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I went with some friends and like we had a good time, but it's also very sad as an adult because it's like there's still a bunch of I don't know if this is every Six Flags because I know they essentially just take over existing theme parks, but with this particular one, there's a lot of animals still, but they're all like
Mm,
in the most improper cages, like
Uh,
not cages, but
yuck.
like exhibits. Like I remember there was a tiger exhibit that was literally just enclosed in a chain link fence and it was under a roller coaster. And I was
No,
like, nah, dude.
I
That's
don't
I
a
like
hate
that at
it.
all.
lawsuit waiting to happen, and that poor animal has to listen to screaming and puking all day.
Dude, I hate that. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I don't
Mm,
like any
Anyway,
animals in theme parks. It seems weird and bad.
yeah.
I mean, it is like when you're a kid, though, it's magical, you know. Like that theme park was Marine World because they used to have like a shit ton of different animals and like the shows. Like they would do dolphin shows and orca shows. I don't think they were quite as problematic as SeaWorld, but I'm
Yeah.
sure it wasn't good. But you know, when
No,
you're a little kid and there's a huge fucking orca, where else are you gonna see that, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I like, you know, also when you're a kid, you're like, oh, that's their pet and it loves being there and they treat it
Mm-hmm.
super well. But yeah, going back as an adult, it's kind of like, oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, not to bring the
Um,
mood down, but
I'm fucking sad now.
LSU has like a live tiger mascot, Mike the Tiger.
oh
He comes
That
out on the field unleashed.
no, but they have his enclosure like right next to the stadium where
no.
everyone's screaming. And
Oh,
so
poor
like
guy.
that it just fucking sucks. It's just unnecessary, you know?
Maybe they're happy.
You don't need a literal tiger.
No, you don't.
No.
I will
Just get
say
like a tabby cat. It's fine.
I feel like zoos get a really bad rap sometimes, you know, for obvious reasons. But the San
Yeah.
Francisco Zoo, the one closest to me, does some good shit too to, I
Mm.
guess, perk it up a bit. Well, I used to volunteer once a week at this place called the Marine Mammal Center in Sausalito. I was just an educational docent, so I would essentially just tell people about the mammals that we had, but it was like a sea lion, seal, rescue, essentially. So they would get
Uh-huh.
calls from people who were like, there's a sea lion on this beach, he looks injured, and they would pick it up and rehabilitate and release. So one of the things that they would get a lot is people will literally just shoot sea lions because like they'll get on a fisherman's boat and damage it or almost sink it. So people just shoot them and like do all kinds of other horrible shit. So
Yeah.
they would take those animals, but obviously they couldn't be released. So at that point, the San Francisco Zoo would take them. So I think they still have a couple of animals from the Marine Mammal Center. So they do a lot of like rescue when release isn't possible. Yeah.
Zoos can do good.
Yeah.
It's almost like I feel like it's never good for whales and shit though.
No
matter,
it can't be.
You can't really give them enough water.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now the orcas are fighting back and sinking ships, which is great.
Yeah.
It is great, but that makes me think they're also going to start getting poached.
Probably.
For the same reason as the sea lions.
They're very smart creatures, so I hope they know when to run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep trying to lift the mood and then...
Yeah, what about these orcas indiscriminately attacking boats?
That's fun, dude. Eat the rich. Sink these billionaires' yachts. Yes, queen.
I feel like it's not just yachts, though. I think they're just like, fuck that boat.
But I think so far the ones that have been reported were like luxury boats, not just like fishing boats.
Yeah, that's true. Probably some billionaires fucking with a pod.
Yeah.
And they learned. Whales are smart.
They are smart.
They are smart.
They're smart boys.
Get out of our fucking house.
Did Beth have anything else that she has done this week, or do we want to talk about what we watched?
No, that was it. I didn't do anything.
Hey, Felicia.
Yeah.
And Beth, what we watched this week?
I watched a couple things on my own. So I started watching Hell's Kitchen UK.
Ooh.
It's
you
very
haven't seen that
different.
one yet?
I hadn't. I really didn't. I guess I thought they would all be like interspersed within the regular Hell's Kitchen, but I didn't realize it was its own separate thing. I don't know. It is very different because it's certainly a lot calmer. Like Gordon Ramsay is much, I mean, he's still yelling and swearing at people, but not to the extent as the American version. But I also feel like there's like no tense music and there's a lot less building up of the drama that happens. So it's a lot more like peaceful. Yeah, it's not filmed as much like a reality show. But the other thing is because it's the UK, it's not like people with really proper British accents. It's people who are very Cockney sounding. So it's like, right, well, no, that wasn't it. That didn't come out like I heard it in my head.
Listen to my British accent. How y'all doing?
Right, well,
no, that's some sort of fucked up Australian.
Can you demonstrate a Cockney accent?
Give me something to say.
Right, well.
I don't think I could do that on command. My brain is.
I thought I could until I started speaking.
I gotta hear it first.
Well, the point is, anyway, it's a lot harder to understand. And they're also using terms that I don't know. I guess some I've picked up from Great British Bake Off, like, this is stodgy.
Yeah.
But other things, it's just like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying, and I need captions. So yeah, it's like, it's good. It's a lot more peaceful, and it's a lot more like Gordon Ramsay is more hands-on and actually trying to help these people rather than just trying to yell at them. But it's a little bit more boring, I will say. The other thing I started rewatching Righteous Gemstones.
And I need to do that.
I know, we don't have a lot of time, but I forgot about Levi and how much I love Levi. In the first episode, there's the inciting incident is that one of these mega church leaders is being blackmailed with this video of him and his friends like partying with whores and doing coke. And everyone is like, oh man, if my wife finds out, she's gonna kill me. And Levi just quietly says, oh, I won't be able to adopt. Like, I don't remember that line, and it was so good.
I think the first time we watched it was in VR, and I think there was a lot of laughing going on.
It was not in VR. Steve told us about it, but we watched it together. The first episode, I don't think we were really in until the very end. And then we were like,
Yeah.
okay, we gotta watch more.
I seem to remember that. And I think I really liked the second season a lot
Yeah. So there's
more.
only 2 seasons out, right?
I
Or
think
3.
so.
Oh, wow.
Maybe it's 3. I'm having trouble.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because they released the last season like 4 years after the previous one
I
because of
want to say
COVID.
3.
We were late to the game, though, I think.
3 sounds right to me.
This is so
Imagine
easily
if we could find this
checkable
information.
Yeah. Let's see, how many seasons?
While you guys check on that, I'll talk about the last thing that I watched, which was a movie. It was like super, super late, and I was just looking for anything, preferably like something a little spooky. So I went on Amazon, and there was a Prime movie, so free, called Gonjiam Haunted Asylum from 2018.
Yeah.
It's a found footage horror, and it's very much like a mix between Grave Encounters and As Above, So Below. So it's like this crew of, there's a team of YouTubers who do like a YouTube channel about exploring haunted places, and for this they recruit a couple more members to go explore this haunted location. And I don't want to say anything that's potentially spoilery, but shit happens and you're like, are they faking it or are they not? Or are they just trying to get a reaction out of these people that they hired for views,
Right.
you know? But then unexplainable things happen. There's a lot of like time bendy stuff that's going on, and like
That's fun.
that's why it reminds me of As Above, So Below, because it's like not just a haunting, it's kind of like Blair Witch. It's like inexplicable how you're now trapped in this place and can't leave.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a fun movie. It was better than I anticipated for not knowing anything about it and it just being like a foreign found footage film. But it was a good time. I would recommend it. There's a lot of very creepy moments. It's really fun and creative and spooky.
What's it called again?
Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. It's Gonjiam.
Okay.
Usually foreign horror is too much for me because they make that shit scary.
Yeah.
I do not like Japanese ghost movies at all.
It did have some of that, but it was more like typical ghosty type found footage. It wasn't too over the top scary, but it did have some spooky creature type effects.
Dude, I don't like watching horror by myself. I don't know how you do that.
I never do that.
I'm dead inside.
Are you a ghost?
Maybe.
We're all a ghost.
Beth, you watch anything by yourself?
I watched not a lot. I watched some more Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, yeah.
And this was mostly like a podcast week for me, but
Yeah,
also been every day I watch the new episodes of Love Island UK that are coming out because the season's it's back on.
Tell me again why it's like different. The UK version is different.
I don't know. Their personalities are just interesting. It's not that the structure of the show is different. It's just themselves are different.
Yeah.
I think what draws me to watching, like, because I even tried to get a hold of the France one, because watching other cultures do like conflict resolution is so interesting because it's so different to us.
It's so much more tame generally.
Yeah. It's like, it's just so much more enjoyable. It's like, oh my God, look at how you guys work this out. And like, it's just so mature. And then they have fun accents. So I like that.
I do tend to enjoy dating stuff in the UK versus in America. It's just too gross in America.
That's true.
I mean, it can be like, ugh.
Oh, I'm sure.
There
but
too,
I mean,
but
like, I feel like the men in America ooze, I'm gonna probably murder you more than UK men on these shows do.
American reality TV producers just want to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big problem for me. I don't like it.
Yeah, I feel like even if the UK ones try to do that, like these people's personalities just completely spite whatever that is.
Yeah.
I don't know, they're great.
Well, that means that the producers didn't cast people that were dicks on purpose, because Americans
Right.
do that too.
That is a very American reality show thing.
Mm,
Oh, you have a terrible
true.
personality? Great, you're in.
Oh, looks like you have a drinking problem. We can exploit that. Get in here.
Very true.
We watched Eric Andre in VR.
We
Oh
did.
yeah.
2 more
Like
Unhinged.
VR night and our watch along was the only thing I watched this week. I was a podcast boy.
Mm.
And we watched Hobgoblins, the Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, it was
Oh
bad.
yeah.
It was real bad.
It was not even like traditional gagoos. It was just like stuffed animals that people were pretending to fight.
Absolutely. They
With
didn't
fun
move.
little faces.
They weren't even being
Yeah.
puppeted. They
No,
were just
not at
shaking
all.
them.
It was just, it's like how you pretend with children that like something is alive. Just shake it around a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. What are those Nukem High movies called? Trauma.
Oh, I don't like that shit.
Hobgoblins felt like a trauma film to me without the crazy makeup and shit.
And all the barf and piss.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think they were going for a trauma feel and they like missed bad.
It was also
so
just
bad.
every acting bit was very bad, and yeah, it was a very bad movie.
There was a 5-minute rake fight in the front yard.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
just
yeah.
people like a very, very unnecessarily long scene of 2 guys not even like really hitting each other, just kind of slapping the handles of rakes together.
Yeah.
Like they were
Yeah,
doing something.
they were sparring.
Yeah.
And then just like going back to the same boring scenes a million times.
Yes.
Yeah.
It had maybe like 4 locations. The Mystery Science Theater people kept counting the times that cars would park as a transition.
Yeah.
And it was like 30 in the first hour. And then I couldn't help but see every car parking as a scene transition. Like that's all they ever did.
Yeah.
It really felt like it was some kid's first movie that they directed,
Probably.
maybe. And there was a mark on the floor in one of the. They walked by a mark from a different scene.
And they
Just
weren't
really
using
bad.
they weren't using mics at one point. It was like camera audio.
Yeah, definitely.
They did that
But
a lot.
They definitely did. It's maybe the worst audio I've ever heard in a movie. It was terrible. They didn't even try.
No.
But for Mystery Science Theater, it was fun.
Yes.
That one was like full of one problem with Mystery Science Theater 3000. If I ever did a show like this myself, I would learn from them not to make references.
Dude, I don't understand 80% of the people they reference or the events they reference.
It makes
What
me
the
feel
fuck?
old that I understand like 90% of
Ugh. Yeah,
but I know they're ancient at least.
Well, it's also, there's quite a difference in just reactions from our friend group. You know, when they make a really overly specific reference, maybe one person goes, wow, I can't believe they said that. And then the rest of us aren't laughing. So you gotta
You'll
be
hear
just
me
a
nose
little
laugh.
bit more. Yeah.
They would get a nose laugh out of me. Yeah, but this one was like chock full of really obscure ancient references. I didn't get most of them. It was really weird.
Yeah, I'm a little bit lukewarm on Mystery Science Theater. They have some good bits, but then a bunch of the time it is just references I personally don't understand because I was not alive at the time.
Yeah, the references do not work. They just don't work anymore.
No.
But in the 90s when I was watching that shit on my couch, that was great.
Mm.
We watched Ravenous as our watch along.
We did.
Yeah, that was good. I liked it a lot.
I love that. I like to show little gems like that to people. I'm glad more people get to see it.
The soundtrack was as great as I remembered, maybe greater than I remembered.
It's so good.
I forgot that main.
Bing, 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 bing.
Yes, I forgot that part. I forgot that song. I remember the song where they were like, where he was chasing the one kid through the woods. That's the one that stuck out in my head. But this time around,
like banjos.
Yeah, it was upbeat banjos.
And someone's running for their life.
You just get inundated with so much It's so much, the soundtrack. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It's really like seemingly out of place for a horror film, but it also really works because it is a silly movie.
Yeah.
It's very silly. Also, I think that music was entirely synthesized.
Probably.
I don't
It
think there
really
were
just
live
sounds like
instruments.
no, it really just sounds like someone pushing buttons on like a electric keyboard or something with like
Yeah.
loops of music.
And it's not well mixed at all. It's not well mastered. It's not good, but it's great.
But it's so good.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
It's like the only instance of that I can think of.
I've never been able to just like find the soundtrack to download. I mean, I'm sure it's on YouTube, but it doesn't exist in like the iTunes store. But it is something that like just makes me happy when I hear it.
I didn't watch this. I listened to an audiobook, The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. I was able to actually listen to that while I played Diablo.
Wow.
That's nice.
Which might open up my ability to listen to audiobooks if I can do it while I play that game. But that book rules. I highly recommend it if you're into making art at all.
I don't know who Rick Rubin is.
Rick Rubin is a super producer. He launched the Beastie Boys.
Whoa.
He got Johnny Cash to do the covers that included Hurt, that like relaunched his career.
And the song you stole from me.
Oh yeah, that's true. About how Beth shot a man in Reno just to watch him die.
Oh yeah, that was before we started recording.
That was.
Yeah.
Beth dropping the reference.
That was a reference for us. Jesse, I assume this exists in audiobook form, but I'm not sure. But there's a book called Like Brothers, and it's by the Duplass brothers. And it's very much like that, where it's just about the creative process and like how they got into filmmaking and stuff. It's very good. I would recommend it. I actually, this was after, like, not that long after Creep came out, that the Duplass brothers announced that they were doing a book signing of this book in San Francisco. It wasn't exactly, I ended up going.
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly a signing. They handed you a signed copy of the book when you walked in, but they did like a presentation and talked about it a bit and did like audience Q&A, which was fun. But the whole time I was like, I'm so close to the man from Creep. It's kind of scary.
Dude, hold on. I was figuring that I could just buy this audiobook right quick while we were talking. And they won't let you unless you have an Audible membership, and that's bullshit.
Oh, yeah, they do that.
All. I hate it.
Audible is sneaky like that. They also don't like remind you that you're getting billed. So
right.
I went so long paying for a subscription I wasn't using that I have a bunch of book credits.
This happens to me a lot because I will restart my membership and I'm like, oh, I'll cancel that. What I've started to do is like immediately cancel it.
Yeah.
While I'm still thinking about it because they still give you the month or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
I think I will do that with that Duplass book though because I'm into it.
If I can buy it with one of my credits and send it to you, I would do that because I'm not using it.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if it lets you.
I don't have a Kindle or anything. I just use their I use the Android player.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that
Rick Rubin book is very good.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
You know, the time for asking questions is right now.
Hi.
You don't have to like
from
reintroduce yourself whenever we start a new segment.
Why not?
Hi, I'm Beth. You can find me on.
As part of our show's unique charm is that we fuck up everything.
Oh, okay, great.
Thank God.
Including me forgetting to ask questions this week. So I just stole some off of Reddit. The first one that I stole is 34% of adults sleep with a stuffed animal or sentimental object. Are you one of those people? What do you sleep with?
No. I don't. As a kid, I always slept with like a shit ton of stuffed animals on my bed. I do not regularly sleep with a stuffed animal. However, I have one that I recently found in my closet. And I want to say I've said this before somewhere. I don't know if it was this podcast or not, but I used to be super into NCIS and I really loved Abby, who was the forensic lab tech who was a goth. And she had this stuffed animal called Bert the Farting Hippo, where if you squeeze him, he farts. And At the time, I was very into it, and my mom got me the farting hippo toy for like Christmas one year. So I didn't want to like get rid of it with the rest of my stuffed animals because it's very funny to have a stuffed animal that you squeeze and it farts. It also has a dog collar with like spikes. And I recently found it in my closet and discovered it's the most comfortable thing to use as a pillow. So for a while I was sleeping with it in my bed, but I would accidentally roll onto the fart mechanism too much. And then it started to like not work very well anymore. So I stopped.
I have a body pillow. That
That's
doesn't
kind of
count.
like a stuffed animal. It just doesn't have
I
a
guess
face.
so.
You hug it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I thought about getting one of those pregnancy pillows. Those look pretty cool.
I got one after I had surgery, but it's not very comfortable. I wish it was better.
I have one like still in the bag. I've yet to take it out because I'm just scared of how big it is and how much of my life it's gonna take up.
Yeah, that is a real issue. The only way I've found to store it is I have this like freestanding clothing rack in my bedroom that I use for coats because there's no closet space in my apartment. So I just like hang it on the end of this rack, like standing
That's
up.
smart.
So it's vertical.
That is smart.
I think that Miriam said that they like make you sweat too.
Oh, maybe.
I guess because you're getting like a lot of volume from all sides.
Yeah.
Maybe. I keep thinking about it, but I think it would be too much fucking effort. But I'm
Yeah.
always looking for a way to make sleep better.
Yeah, true. I feel like it would be comfortable to lay on like on the floor too.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
that's what I used it for mostly.
Yeah, definitely. Side viewing of TV. Although, Felicia, you got too many spiders for that shit. I would never do that.
Oh
Not
God.
inside. I mean, every
Well-
once in a while I get them, but it's also not all year round. It's like every like a 3-month period out of the year I'll get a spider in my house a couple times throughout the week and then not at all for the rest of the year.
I hate spiders. That's enough to make me paranoid enough to never do that.
Our bug man just came today, so maybe I could break out the pillow and get on the floor.
Hell yeah, bug. You got a bug guy?
Yeah, he comes quarterly.
Dave the bug guy.
Saves my life because I was in fucking spider hell over here for a while.
They do
Yeah.
spray over here. I've seen them spray like around the apartments, but it doesn't seem to help. But yeah, it doesn't help because I lay on the floor a lot when I'm like watching TV or when we do VR because I have this wedge pillow that I'm basically like sitting up with, but it's just more convenient to like be spread out and be able to grab my water and stuff while I have a VR helmet on. But for not the last 2 times, but twice now, right after I've gotten up off the floor from watching VR, there's been a spider on the ground that has crawled across me in some capacity, which is
no,
awful.
I don't like it.
It hasn't changed my behavior for long. It will for a couple days and I'll avoid the floor and then I'll be like, it has to be gone by now.
Yeah.
So, you know, I like to stay in my ignorance.
My brain doesn't work like that. I remember it for a year.
Usually I'm able to kill it right then, but sometimes it gets away from me.
That's the best case scenario.
No, that's the worst case scenario. Then
No,
it's
like
loose
if
in
you
your
can
house.
just kill it.
Oh, yeah, if you can just kill it.
I can't remember if I told you guys this, but like Miriam had the door open for some reason and a wasp got in.
Oh, no.
The worst.
I went to get Racket to kill it and it wasn't anywhere to be seen.
Oh,
And
a racket.
Yeah, like a zappy racket.
Oh,
we
okay.
had one of those, yeah.
Yeah. So that thing is probably still in my house somewhere and I've been paranoid about it for like 2 weeks.
It's probably dead.
I'm sure
probably
it's dead
is
by
dead.
now. Yeah.
You'd know about it. It would make itself known.
I actually
Probably.
think my cat probably killed it. She's the one that alerted me to it.
Oh, yeah, maybe. The spider that crawled across me on Tuesday never was seen again. So hopefully it's dead, but it may still be at large.
Oh no. I hate it.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Question number 2.
Oh, wait, I didn't answer.
Oh, I thought you did. All right,
Well,
I'm sorry.
I don't sleep with a stuffed animal or anything like that now. Just regular pillow situation. But whenever I was little, very, very, very little, my mom would wear these nightgowns and the material was like kind of silky.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like little kids like to touch that like texture. And so she just gave me one and I would just sleep with it.
Oh.
Oh, it's your binky.
Yeah.
So I
Hell
slept
yeah.
with that for a long time, but I had a ton of stuffed animals, but never slept with one. Yeah.
Dude, I had a Care Bear phase.
A Care Bear face?
Yeah, if we're going back to childhood, I had Care Bears, I had glowworms.
I had a glowworm.
I love my glowworm.
I wasn't a big fan of teddy bears. I liked other kinds of animals, and I didn't really like cuddle with them at night. I didn't sleep with them like that, but they were always on the end of my bed as like decoration, whether I was in it or not. And I felt like if any of them were left out, they would feel bad. So, of course, I had to keep them on the bed.
Dude, I was that way too. Like, everything had feelings. I'm still kind of that way, unfortunately. But, like, I had a big shelf and I had to make sure that everyone was able to see out and not, like, be stuffed behind anyone. I had a little armadillo. He had a cowboy hat. I had, I had one of those little dinosaurs where you squeeze it and it, like, screeches.
Yeah.
Those are some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
I could never like the foot of the bed with a bunch of stuffed animals. I couldn't do because I toss and turn a lot even when I was
wouldn't be
younger.
able to now. Those would all be on the floor in like an hour.
Well, not just like kicking them off, they would fucking terrify me because I'd wake up and like see the shape and think it was a person.
Not if you've slept with them every night.
No, don't. I'm paranoid. I would.
I slept so chaotically. Like, I would not just toss and turn, but I would end up like with my head at the other end of the bed when I woke up.
I think I've done that.
Damn, that's full turn.
Yeah, not
How
anymore.
you doing full turns?
I don't know. These days, I'm pretty fucking still. I'm one spot and I wake up that way.
You guys tuck sheet in or are you
No.
loose?
At the bottom.
Oh, you're a tucker.
Oh no, Beth.
Sorry.
That sounds like a cocoon of sweat. I am a very hot sleeper.
Yeah.
So I have to have like a fan blasting on me. And I very much am like covers on, covers off, covers on, too hot, covers off. Like that all night.
I have like my sheet tucked in, but it's not like tucked in down the side or anything. So I have like my sheet, my blanket, and then sometimes an extra blanket on top. And if I get hot, I'll like stick a leg out.
Yeah, I'm a leg out boy. I got a fan too, but can never tuck. It's too constricting on the feet.
I don't know. My mom did that ever since I was little, so like I'm just used to
That means you make your bed.
Yeah.
See, I love getting into a bed like that where everything is all nice and tucked in, but within like 10 minutes, I feel like I'm trapped and I have to pull everything out.
I like to feel secure, like a burrito.
Because no robber can get you if you're tucked in your bed.
That's the one thing though. Like I don't make bed, but I've gotten cramps before from kicking covers to try to get them back into the right position. Like when they're all crumpled up. So I feel like I could avoid those kicky cramps.
That would piss me off in the middle of the night if something's not straightened out and I have to deal with it. I can't like wake up. Like if I have to pee or something, it's just not happening. I never get up or refuse.
I try not to, and then I can't stop thinking about it, so I have to.
Age will take care of that eventually.
Oh, that's
no.
I'm 41. I go pee once a night usually, and it's just gonna get worse.
Oh God, no.
Oh, that's cheery. What's the next question?
Hey, welcome back to the Cheer Cast. Let's talk about dead seals, sea lions, and
no, we were talking about rehabilitated sea lions.
Bladders. You told us they got murdered.
No, I said they get shot and injured, so they get rescued, and they're at the zoo now.
I just did the math that several are being murdered and a couple are being saved.
Well, we have a good the Marine Mammal Center does good work here.
I'll try not to do the math.
Don't do the math.
Next question. What paranormal activities have you witnessed?
None.
One.
Oh.
Ooh. What's yours?
Whenever I was younger, there was this old house that was next to so my aunt and uncle and cousins lived in a trailer that was way down this little dirt road between a bunch of sugarcane fields and then like into the woods. And there was an old house next to it that was for the man who had the property before them. And I would go in there with my cousins sometimes, and they would try to freak me out. So maybe like I manifested this in my head based off of them freaking me out. But I swear to God, like as we were walking out one time, I like saw the man.
Oh no.
And then like just left, hurried up and like, caught up with everyone. But that's my one.
I don't like that.
I think a lot of Louisiana is haunted as fuck, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, on like the property we're on now, the guy who owned it had his daughters buried here. And so like she could be under my house. She could be under my mom's house.
What the fuck?
Just
No
remember,
idea.
there's always a million dead people under you at any given time, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Some are just fresher than others.
That's true. It is a globe, so
yeah,
as far enough down, you'll run into dead people.
And people have been killing each other for a very long time.
Oh yeah. At my old house in Virginia, there was so much Civil War shit in the woods behind my house. Like you would just come up on it.
I'm very much an I want to believe type of person. I would love to have a paranormal experience. It just hasn't happened. Like I've never lived in a place where someone has died, or like been in a I guess I've been to a couple of haunted locations, but not for very long and not like at night. And they're also generally touristy places. So if you heard something abnormal, it's probably just another tourist.
Yeah.
So I guess I haven't really been in a setting to witness a paranormal activity, but one of my friends is very much a believer because she can see things. She says she sees ghosts like as if they were just people. So sometimes it takes her a while to realize. But she was staying at my house once, and we were talking about just paranormal stuff because we're both very into it. And I was like, I don't know if I want to know the answer to this, but have you ever like felt anything or seen anything while you were here? She's been here a couple times. And she was like, I've not seen anything. She said the only incidence of like anything was, she was like, last night I felt somebody walk through your kitchen. And she said it felt like a very familial and like warm, friendly energy. She said, I thought you had gotten up out of bed and went into the kitchen for something. And I was like, oh, okay. But she's also very like, she has pretty interesting beliefs about what ghosts are. And like, she's very much like, they come and go. They're kind of just like echoes of memories almost, and they're like attached to people more than places. So like it could be anyone at any given time, essentially. So I don't know. It's just cool to hear, but I have not experienced anything myself.
I like the idea that they're echoes.
Yeah.
It's always made a little sense to me.
Less sinister.
I wrote about my whole ghost encounter on my website at outbynight.com, and I think I talked about it on here too.
You've definitely said a little bit. It's just your like sleep paralysis thing?
Yeah, it was a weird thing where I fully saw like a figure, which has never happened to me before. I've never hallucinated like that.
So I get that. I haven't had that happen in a very, very long time, but I've had like 4 or 5 sleep paralysis events, and none of them involved visual hallucinations, but all of them involved auditory hallucinations and also feeling things. Like once I the first time it ever happened, it felt just like somebody sat down at the end of the bed near my feet. So I was terrified that like somebody had broken in and was sitting on my bed. But I also couldn't, like, I thought I was just so scared that I couldn't move, but I think I actually couldn't move. And then I just went back to sleep. So like, I think part of you knows it's not real, but it does definitely freak you out and make you wonder.
Yes.
Yikes.
I've like heard and felt shit like a million times. But like I'm very I don't know what that is. I'm very sensitive to like changes in the air or whatever. Like I can hear a TV coming on from outside of a house and shit like that. So I've always been like very sensitive to that sort of thing. And then I lived in the boonies in Virginia in the middle of the fucking woods. So as a kid, you're just manifesting whatever you want. I'm like, oh yeah, the hair on the back of my neck is standing up. I probably did that to myself.
Yeah, it's hard because there's a lot of theories about why kids are the ones who tend to have paranormal stuff happen to them. And of course, there's always the like because they have vivid imaginations thing. But
Yeah.
there's also a lot of theories that just kids are more, first of all, they're more sensitive to stuff like that, but also they're just less jaded by years and years of people telling you it's not real.
That's true.
So I really do wonder, like, how many of those experiences that we had as kids were just us imagining it, or were actually something, but we've talked ourselves out of it because it's looked down upon.
Right.
I've always wondered if you have to learn everything as a child. So I've always wondered if there's some period of time where your brain's just not tuned right to the world around you.
Yeah.
Because my brain at any point could just put a demon in my fucking living room and make it look real.
It's true.
Don't do that.
No, don't do it.
Don't worry, he's very hot. His name is Fernando and he loves you.
I tweeted about that at some point. I was like, we're really lucky that we just don't have demons in our fucking living room because our brain could at any point just do that, but it doesn't. But I bet when you're young and your brain's like attuning to shit that it's doing that to kids, and that's probably why they have imaginary friends.
Or it's a demon.
Could be. There could be demons. Who knows? I don't fucking know.
No, thank you.
I don't got answers. How about the next question?
How about it?
What name is ruined for you?
I don't have like a hard one of these. I definitely have names that I hear and just kind of go, but
Elon.
Well, were you gonna name your first child Elon?
No. Never, ever.
I can think of one, but I don't know that I want to say it out loud just in case.
Like a superstition thing?
No, like a this person might hear thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hold on, I just did the math. That's my name too.
Yeah.
It's actually Jesse.
Oh, no. Yeah, that is my name. I hate my name. Do you guys like your names?
I'm named Felicia.
Is it good for you?
What is
I
that
don't know.
supposed to mean?
No. Like, it's not that I don't hate my name. I do hate that it's like so unusual to people that like I can't find things with my name on them in like tourist shops where all the keychains are custom. I also, get by Felicia all the time ever since fucking Friday came out.
Yeah.
There's like, all of one reference that people have for me. And I like, I guess, the uniqueness in some capacity, but I'd also maybe just like to be named something that normal people are named to. It's like that paired with Shimberry. That's just too much.
Well, on the other side of the spectrum, we got Beth.
Yeah. I'm good with my name.
What's it short for?
Elizabeth.
And that's exactly what happens to me always.
Bethany.
That's
Wait,
what I always get. What's it short for? It's not short for anything. That's just it.
Hell yeah.
It's just Beth.
Damn. That's weird. I thought for sure it'd be short for Elizabeth.
Said Elizabeth with such authority.
I did. I thought it was always short for Elizabeth, but it makes sense if you...
Partially correct. It was my mom's middle name, so she kind of just named me after that. But it's just Beth.
That's useful, though.
Yeah.
In school, nobody ever called you Elizabeth over the PA, I bet.
I bet they tried.
People call me Bethany all the time.
Oh,
Beth, that's weird to me. Why?
I don't know.
Because it's
why the jump to Bethany?
Because Beth is also a nickname for Bethany.
But Bethany, I feel like, is a weird name.
I guess it depends on if you've known a lot of Elizabeths or Bethanys in your life.
That's true.
That's true. Maybe it's generational.
My middle name's Benjamin, and my mom fucked up some form when I was in school and put it as my first name.
Whoops.
And that followed me until I dropped out. Anytime on the PA my name would get called, it was Benjamin.
Oh my god, that's so weird.
And I had to explain it.
Yeah, I don't see you as a Ben at all.
No, I hate both of my names. I didn't even like my last name.
I actually love the name Ben. I think I have a lot of positive associations with people named Ben.
I think I'd be okay with Ben. It's Benjamin that I didn't like.
Yeah.
Benny.
I don't even think of Benny because his name is Benny, not Ben.
And my last name, I'm like, I constantly have to correct people, and it's really hard to correct people. You're like, Stillwell with one L, and then they're like, which one?
So stupid.
Which set of L's is one L?
Dude, my maiden name was so annoying. It's Dwara. And
What?
I never knew that's how that was pronounced. Because it looked like Dorian almost.
Yeah, it looks like Dorian. It looks like Durwan, which is a popular one here, but it's Dwara. And
No.
so
I couldn't even say it.
I married a Bush, and that's just a fucking blessing. And Beth Bush is just so like,
hell yeah. I'm not
so
going to dox you, but
symmetrical.
you live on the most unpronounceable street that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even
you would have been
remember
Beth
what it
the
is. I just
Wawa
remember
on that
it's-
weird street.
Dude, like spelling out so many things to people on the phone.
Yeah,
Exhausting.
dude.
Exhausting. I still live on the same street, so I still have that curse, but at least my name is short.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
People, one of the problems that I have with my name is that people always assume that it's pronounced in a fancy way because it sounds like it should be, I guess. But like every time I was at like a new class in college and they would take roll, it would be like Felicia. And like people really thought that they had to like put some flair on it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's just Felicia.
Well, that's like Alicia Silverstone. She said it's pronounced Alicia, actually.
Ugh, pretentious.
I hate it.
That's what her mama wanted.
I think before I'd met you, I'd only ever seen it spelled with like SHA at the end instead of CIA.
I've never seen that.
Really?
Mhm.
I don't think I have either.
I probably just grew up with like basic ass Felicias in Virginia.
Well, maybe they do. Maybe they did it because they didn't want anyone making their name too fancy.
Oh, it could be.
Your last name is all effed up for me because of listening to WTOP.
I know. That's how everyone knows who I am.
Yeah, and the shout out Shambari.
Oh, well, yeah, that was because I listened to both WTOP, but also another podcast called Fright Day, not Fright Day, sorry, Foffcast, which was Byron's other podcast.
Uh-huh.
And they also thought my name was pronounced Shambari for the longest time until like they were doing a podcast episode where they would have people call in. So I called and it made you like state your name before it like pinged them and told them who you were. And I said Felicia Shambari. So when they picked up the phone, they were like, "It's Shambari?" And then Mike and Zoya heard that. And then they felt bad because I never corrected them because it was always pronounced wrong my entire life. So I didn't give a fuck. So yeah.
I just thought it was Shambari until just
Everybody does.
Until just now?
Until just now, yeah. I never say your last name.
But you listen to Welcome to Our Podcast.
Oh, I definitely do not listen to that shout out section.
It wasn't even during the
What?
shout outs. Wait, what do you mean you don't listen to this shout out
The
section?
shout outs are fun.
You're a bad
like-
friend.
10 minutes of names. I don't give
You
a
are
fuck.
bad.
But
No,
they
it's-
always make
it's
it
not 10.
funny. Like Mike plays music and Zoya
There's-
fucks
yeah.
up.
There's bits. It's all
Yeah.
happening
I
in
got
the,
other
in
shit
the
to
What
do.
is
mix.
wrong with you're a bad? It's
What
like
do you have to
half
do?
of the length of their podcast. You're a bad
Now listen
friend.
to a bunch of names I've heard a million times.
I'm gonna
I don't-
tell
it's
Mike.
always the
dude.
same name.
No, they make it fun every time. It's like listening to the ads on DB.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes people change their names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dog,
Like, you know
doing
how
bits.
Zoya always would say Rob Devereaux?
Yeah.
Dev changed his name to Deb Robro.
Robberoo.
And,
All right, that's a good
and
bit.
Zoya fucks it up every
That's a
single
great
time.
bit. Wait, you're lying because you alerted me to Beth Butch the other day.
When?
That's true.
The
you
other
did.
day. You were like, hey,
You
Zoya
could scroll
said
back
Beth
and...
Butch or whatever.
Yeah.
Which she
Beth Butch.
always
always accidentally says.
Well, I'm going to scroll back in Telegram right fucking now and find that comment.
I mean, I believe you. If I'm actively listening, I will skip it. Maybe it was in the background.
Yeah, she Beth Butched me.
I usually don't listen to those names though. There's just too many of them boys.
I just found it. And I quote Jesse. Beth Butch, attributed to Zoya. Beth, haha, did she do it again? I haven't listened today. Jesse, yes indeed. LOL.
Yeah, but
There it is.
there's the proof because Beth said she did it again and I didn't know there was a second one.
A second one. There's so many. And then I changed it to Beth Butch at one point. And that made her laugh. I like to make Zoya laugh.
Yeah, that
it's a
one
fun
that
time.
Telegram's the one time I listen to the names.
Well, you should do it more often.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll start listening to the names
I don't know
in
if any
honor.
fucking one knows what we're talking about. I assume
No.
most of you do because you also listen to Welcome to Our Podcast. But if you don't, at the end of every episode, they say all the names of their Patreon sponsors. So Jesse is
Yes.
saying he doesn't like to listen to that because it's too repetitive and it's just a list of names. But there's
It's
some
too
good
long.
bits
It's
in
not
there.
too repetitive. It takes too long.
You're missing all Mike's beats.
Yeah.
He always uses the same beat.
Not
No.
always.
How
I
would
know
you
he
know?
uses
if you
the
listen
same
to
beat because
it.
I know what loop machine he's using, and it's the same
Jesse,
beat.
shh.
Yeah,
All
but
right,
you don't
fine.
know. He like riffs on it. You know, he gets into it.
What name's ruined for me? Every name on Welcome to Our Podcast. That's what's ruined for me. Oh, god damn it.
The guy was like tearing him to pieces with his
I'm not
mouth.
supposed to
So I
use
told him,
this.
Get off, you know.
I
it's
hope
like-
you
and
never
the guy just
remember.
kept eating the guy got away, like ripping his skin.
Larry Vega describes it as a scene out of a horror movie as a naked man chewed off the face of another naked man.
What if we reenacted that and then you use that? Could they
I mean-
copyright strike you?
No, well, maybe because it's the music. I would need to.
Just
I
change
could
the
compose
music
the
and then
music
we'll
myself. Maybe.
record it ourselves.
Maybe I'll do a little self challenge and see if I can make shitty news music.
Fuck yeah.
That's fun.
Because I'm sure that's what they're copyright striking, not the dude talking.
True.
Mm.
Even though it said royalty free, lying bitches.
Bitches.
Who's got the news?
I only have one thing, and I wonder if it's the same as Beth.
Yes.
But I only wrote down that Halloween Horror Nights, which is Universal Studio, their like October event that happens every night where the theme park gets spooky and they have a bunch of haunted houses and stuff that are based on like Universal movies. So they just announced that they're going to do a Last of Us themed one this
Wow.
year,
Ooh.
which I can't decide how I feel about it. Like if I would want to go in or not. I think I would. I think I might cry. But there's like a small chance I might go because me and our friend Shannon are planning a trip down to LA in October. And we were talking about doing either Universal Horror Nights or Not Scary Farm, which I think is what we're leaning towards. But one of our friends, Ellie, works at Universal. So there's also that chance that we'll go and maybe I can experience this.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that does sound fun.
We didn't have the same news.
Okay.
Mine was that Selena Gomez and Jordan Peele are developing a series adaptation of Sean Lewis's graphic novel Coyotes for Prime.
Huh.
And that seems like a
Selena
cool
Gomez.
collaboration. Selena
Interesting.
Gomez.
What's Coyotes?
So, yeah, I don't know. It's this dude's graphic novel. There's like
Huh.
werewolves. There's ladies going missing. It's in a desert situation. Which I don't love. You know, I don't love weather. And
I thought about that when we started watching Ravenous. I was like, oh no, Beth doesn't like weather stuff.
well, that one didn't have too much. It
I
was
mean, it was snowy, but I guess that wasn't really the point.
no. I'm more bothered by like they're on just the snowiest mountain and they're fighting the elements. This was more
Yeah.
fighting someone. So that was fine.
Gotcha.
It's more if it's like in an extreme. That's
Gotcha.
what gets me because I feel it too much. I'm like, oh my god, I'm dying. I can't. I'm so thirsty. I'm gonna die. Oh no, I'm freezing. You know.
It's
Those
like when
kind
you
of
hold your
feelings.
breath when someone goes underwater in a movie, but Beth is just doing that through the whole movie.
I just feel it all. But that was it. That was my only news.
Coyotes.
That's
I'll
fun.
have to. I wonder if that's based on a book that I know about. It doesn't
Beth did
sound.
say the book.
I know, but it doesn't sound familiar. But that's weird that it doesn't.
Well,
That's it. It's a very light news week. Everyone's
Yeah.
mostly just talking about Barbie and all the different posters, which is it's all great, and I want to see it immediately.
Oh yeah,
I saw
wanna
that
see
one
Barbie.
with her hand on his face.
Yeah, it's apparently
Pretty
like
good.
based on a Barbara Streisand picture.
I want to
Ah.
see Barbie and I want to see Oppenheimer.
Yeah, they're kind
The
of
fun
yeah.
thing,
duking it out at the box office. They're like, who's gonna win? Probably Barbie.
probably.
I'm very excited. Are you excited?
Yes. It's not
Oh.
often enough I get to say yes.
No, you're usually a hard no.
I'm excited about two things. First, The Bear season 2
Oh, yeah.
comes out in a week.
That's one of mine.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Next Friday, I think, which I can't do the math right now because something just kicked in. But also, the other thing I'm very excited about is Righteous Gemstones new season comes out this Sunday, which will be before I think this episode goes out, the 18th.
Oh, yeah. We want to watch that?
Yeah.
You guys trying to live watch that?
Yeah.
I can watch that with you. I can't watch The Bear with you because me and Miriam watched that one.
That's okay. But yeah, let's do Righteous Gemstones.
Hell yeah. If it's anything like The Bear season 1, I'll just watch season 2 again.
I will be watching it as it comes out, so.
Yeah, for sure. Mine is Asteroid City by Wes Anderson.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
out.
I haven't watched the trailers, but I'm very into what I've seen.
I know nothing about it at all. Usually Wes Anderson's name's enough to get me excited.
I've seen a little bit of the trailers, but not like a ton.
It's got a lot of huge names in it.
Yeah, for sure.
I just listed Jason Schwartzman, ScarJo, and Tom Hanks here, and there's more.
There's definitely more, but I don't know if everyone has like a major role or if they just kind of do cameos.
They're probably just little cameos here and there.
So one of mine was The Bear, and then the same day there's a new rewatch podcast coming out, and I'm very excited about it. And it is For Will and Grace, and it's gonna be hosted by Eric McCormick, who played Will, and Sean Hayes, who played Jack.
Oh, I love Sean Hayes. Do you listen to his other podcast, Smartless?
No, I don't, but I should.
Yeah, you should. Smartless is really good. It's with Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett.
Oh, that's what that is. I keep seeing TikToks from that.
They're very funny together. Their chemistry is really good.
There's a couple.
They're a little star fuckery though. All their episodes are them interviewing famous people, and they go over the top excited about all of them.
It's always like a double-edged sword when you listen to podcasts hosted by celebrities, because you know it's gonna it could be really good, but it also could be like really overproduced.
Yeah, and it's always going to be a little star fuckery because that whole industry is very networky.
Yeah. There's a couple of rewatch podcasts that I really want to get into. So I did Donald Faison and Zach Braff have one about Scrubs that I did start listening to. They were like, I don't know, they seemed a little bit up their own asses. I wasn't super into it.
Yeah.
And then I just didn't want to rewatch all of Scrubs right then.
You know what my major problem with those is? Is that the ones with the former stars of the show like inject ads, too many ads.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, you don't need the money.
Thing.
Oh, I just skip.
Yeah. There's also one out for Psych with Maggie Lawson and what the fuck is the man's name who plays Lassiter? I'll find it. But it's a Psych rewatch podcast, and I watch Psych all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So that could be fun. And then I think there's a Boy Meets World one called Pod Meets World.
Yeah.
But I have not, I didn't realize, I've seen that title before, but I didn't know that it was hosted by people from the show. I thought it was just like a fan cast. So I never tried listening to it, but I need to do that because Boy Meets World was like my favorite show forever.
Will and Grace seems like a huge time commitment. Didn't that show have a shit ton of episodes?
It did, but I'll just watch it like randomly, without the rewatch situation happening. I mean, the episodes are short too, so
stuff like that you also
easy.
know well enough to not have to do a refresher on all the episodes.
Yeah. Well, for Office Ladies, sometimes I wouldn't even watch the episode. Like sometimes I was obsessive about it, and I was like listening to them say like time codes and going to that exact spot to see what they were talking about. But like other times I just didn't have time, and I just listened to it on the go and didn't watch the episode.
Yeah,
and it was still fun.
I could see myself doing that.
Yeah, for the first time show when they were doing Lost, the only reason that I was so like respect the format about it was because I'd never seen Lost. I was using it
Right.
as my first time watching it too. But for stuff like Will and Grace or Scrubs, it's like you don't really have to when you've seen it a million times. Like, of course, it's fun to be
Yeah.
watching the show along with them, but also I can picture literally everything they're saying.
Yeah. I have Will and Grace memorized probably. It was a huge part of my childhood, and then just rewatched it a ton of reruns.
I'm just sitting here thinking like what's the number one rewatch show where I would not need to watch the show to understand what they're talking about. And I think for me it's that 70s show.
Oh
Yeah.
But that's never going to get a rewatch podcast because of Danny Masterson.
I mean, that might be interesting to talk about, though.
No, dude,
It would have to
they
be.
would not.
It couldn't be hosted by actors. No, it would have to be like a
No.
fan cast.
It would definitely have to be it. Let's do it. We'll do the fan cast.
Dude. Rebrand again.
Third episode of the week is our rewatch podcast.
I don't know. Do you guys love that 70s show as much as I do? Because I fucking love it.
I loved it a
too.
lot.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've rewatched it many, many times.
Interesting. I'll just put that on the back burner.
It would be kind of fun. What if we did like that 70s show shuffle episode where we watch 3 completely randomly selected episodes from any season?
I could write the program to do that.
Hell yeah, do it.
So we don't get any. Yeah, that's great because you don't need to watch that show in order.
Yeah,
No.
we'll just shuffle 3 episodes, watch those, and talk about them.
That's a great idea.
Hell yeah.
Woohoo.
Is it streaming anywhere? Last I knew, Netflix had it.
It was
I
on
don't know.
Netflix. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Hulu might have it.
Oh, could be. All right, back burner that. That's if we all love that 70s show, that's
Hell
a
yeah.
decent idea because the cast could never do a rewatch of that one.
Yeah.
Never, ever.
Only the ones that aren't currently under any kind of DNR. What the fuck is it called again?
NDA.
NDA. DNR.
NDA, but also Hollywood's very networky. Like you don't want to shit talk.
That was
a
the other thing. As long
Scientology
as
guy.
like people aren't actively still in the industry, which I think all of them are.
Yeah, they are. Topher Grace is in Interstellar, much to my chagrin.
Why? Foreman.
When he sucked in it.
He
was
sucks
very-
in everything that isn't that.
I don't think so. I like Topher Grace in general, but he sticks out like a sore fucking thumb in Interstellar. Hey Beth, what are we watching this week?
We're gonna watch The Pick of Destiny.
Hell yeah, that's
Yay.
Tyler's pick of destiny.
Tyler picked our destiny. Thank you, Tyler.
I've never heard of this movie, so I know
that's
you said
great.
it was
Yay.
Tenacious D, which here's the thing. I do enjoy Jack Black, but I was never a fan of Tenacious D, and I think it was mostly because I wasn't like a parody band person at the time. It was super popular.
You don't even like Tribute?
God, so
I
fucking
don't
good.
know what that is.
Oh.
Tribute is their best song in my opinion.
So yeah, I'm curious to see how it's gonna hit me now as someone who wasn't like
Yeah,
a Tenacious
I'm glad.
D person.
I'm actually glad one of us hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
That's good.
That makes it fun.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I think the last time I saw it was maybe in a theater, and I liked it.
The last time I saw it was in the WTOP Discord. We did a movie night.
Oh yeah, you've reminded me about this twice now. I don't remember it at all.
Well,
I wonder
that's
if I was
good.
drunk or something.
Maybe.
I don't remember that shit at all. Or
crunk
maybe it
for-
was someone else. Maybe it was like you and Leah.
I
I
didn't
don't
do a
know.
lot.
I don't know who
of
put it
the-
on.
Yeah, I don't think I did a lot of watch-alongs with you guys.
Mm-mm. Hey, guess what?
Hey.
That's the fucking show.
Wow, we did it.
did like a 45-minute one last time, so we've made up
This is
for it.
every time before we start recording when I'm like, wow, we don't have shit to talk about. This is going to be fast.
Yeah,
It never is.
The questions were very helpful.
that is true.
Yeah. We can just fill the time, apparently. We talk because we're friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go figure.
We like
Wow.
talking to each other.
I would like
Yeah.
to be paid as much as all of the men on those other podcasts to do what we do.
Yeah.
Will Arnett is a word I was looking for.
I think we would have to try more to get paid.
Yeah,
Probably.
we'd also
I don't
have
really
to be
try.
famous.
What do we have to try?
We got to come up with ways to get paid. We got to do the X-Files thing.
Yeah, we
for
really
the
do.
That's going to be our first Patreon.
Yeah.
Mm.
We'll do it eventually. And then maybe
don't know
that
what that
70s
means.
show.
Has anyone ever done a X-Files rewatch cast?
Not like we're going to do it. We're looking for shitty extras in the first season.
Yeah.
I don't think
That's
I've
our
seen
gimmick.
X-Files at all.
Whoa, really?
Really?
We're still
No, I haven't.
recording.
Oh, yeah, I
FYI.
know.
Okay.
Yeah, this is part 2 of the show. Welcome. Welcome
Let's
back.
play this again. It'll be
Okay.
fine. I can't believe you've never seen X-Files.
That's bananas.
No.
That is banana. Oh, well, it is horror-y. You wouldn't like to watch
How
that
else
by
did you
yourself.
form your sexual identity if you never watched X-Files?
Will and Grace.
Will and Dawn.
Did X-Files make you buy because
no.
of Mulder and Scully? X-Files Will and Dawn? Is that what you said? Like there's a Will and Dawn episode
Oh no.
where Mulder and Scully are in the fucking Tennessee
That's not
woods.
what I said. Beth said Will and Grace, so I said Will and Dawn. It wasn't.
Oh, I
It
see.
didn't involve X-Files.
Welcome to part 3.
Oh yeah, my bad. Hold on, let me do it again. Hey, let's watch X-Files Will and Dawn.
Oh, I forgot you had seen The Mummy, though, Beth. So that's how you forged your
Yeah.
sexual identity.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
What was
For sure.
for me? It was the Wonder Years.
That's
Winnie
Okay.
Cooper,
Jared.
Yeah.
and then Topanga from Boy Meets World, and then a
Love
whole bunch of
Topanga.
Winona Ryder shit for a
Yeah.
long time.
Mm.
But wow, have a good night's
Good
sleep,
night,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night. Go to
For real
sleep.
this
There's
time.
Yeah,
there's
for
no
real,
part
for
4.
real.
You have to go to sleep.
This is it. Night. Bye, bye, everybody.
Bye bye.